Okay, great. So we're back, and you have your little pattern here that maybe you created, or if you follow along on the first video, um, you may have the same thing that we have here, or slightly different, which is totally fine. The point of this video is to help you understand how to use the program, how to navigate the program, and how to get the results that you want from this program. Great. Okay, so now let's hear what we have again. Remember, this is low down a lot. If I turn this up, I may blow your eardrums out, and that's why I'm being very careful here with the volume. Okay, so so we have a pretty straightforward dance beat. It's cute. Um, I can now go back and add some more instruments. Let's hear what we have. Huh. Didn't realize that was off. Sorry about that. Okay. Right? So the crash is nice, but let's get that to be a little lower. All right, very cool. We just wanted to add flavor, not overtake the whole song, right? Perfect. Okay, so now that we have that, we can go into our song mode for a second. So let me close this out. Let me move this over, and I am going to add here the song editor. Now I'm doing this at this point of the program because I believe this is the best workflow for this program. If I wanted to continue to add to this beat and I created 17 more tracks, every time I wanted a variation, well, there are a few different ways you can do this. But I'm going to teach you the way that I think is the most effective, okay? And I'll show you both at some point, but right now I'm going to show you what I think is the best workflow. So let's say beat and bass line, I want to call it kick, okay? Hit this button here, and I'm going to make sure it's 2 bars, just like the first one, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to name it clap. Then I'm going to hit this button again, make sure it's 2 bars like the first one. I'm going to hit HH or hi-hat, however you'd like to label that. One more time. I'm going to name this one side stick. And, oops, make sure it's 2 bars. Then I'm going to go to crash. Oh, sorry. I'm going to add another beat and bass line and name that one crash. Okay, and make sure it is the 2 bars like everything else. So now, I can't wait to get to this box. So now I have 5 tracks and 5 instruments. I'm going to put each track on an individual instrument. Okay, if I was going to start from scratch at this point, I could just metronome it like this, push play, and I have this going, keeping me a tempo. So I can just start by adding sounds on the hi-hat. Okay, whatever. But we already have something kind of laid out. So we're going to go back to the first beats and bassline editor pattern, and you can click here on kick. And what you can do here is you can right click on the first dot, hit copy, go to the next pattern and hit paste. Then you can go back to pattern 1, go to the third instrument, right click it, hit copy, go to hi-hat pattern, or you can also just click here and it takes you to that pattern. Right click and hit paste. Then I'm going to go back to the kick, go to the fourth instrument, copy that, go to side sticks, hit paste, go back to kick and take the last instrument, copy, and on crash, I can hit crash. Like crash only had one dot, so I could have just did that without doing the whole copy pasting. I just want to show you, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Let me delete that. Remove. Oh, by the way, this is how you can remove and clone tracks and add channels, effects channels, which we'll get to later. So here, I'm going to go back to the kick and I'm going to clear the notes on each pattern because I already copied them to other patterns. So now on the kick drum pattern, I only have a kick. And on the clap pattern, I only have clap, hi-hats, side stick. I don't know what we have side sticks like that. I didn't want that. That was an error on my part. Okay, so I'll have to do that again. That's fine. I'll add some sticks back. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. I'm just guessing here again. I don't remember what we did exactly. Let me hear. I could work with that. I think it was pretty similar. Okay, great. So now on each pattern, I have just one instrument. This is beautiful because when I start to lay my song out that I can export into a file that I can hear on different devices and other people can hear, because when you save a project in this program, it only takes you to this program when you open that file. It doesn't play in another device or in another format. So that's something you should really pay attention to. And while we're at it, let's go over here now that we have our pattern laid out and cut out the way we want it to. We're going to go to File, hit Save or Save As. The first time you do it, it's going to give you this box and you can put whatever the name of this song will be for you. Something like Today. Okay, look at that. Okay, save. Now I've saved it. So every time from now I add something, I'm going to go here to File and just hit Save, and it's going to save it without opening that box again. This way, if the computer crashes or I walk away and somebody turns off my program, I don't lose everything that I had before. That can be really frustrating. Okay, beautiful. So now, if I wanted to go here, I can left click and populate the drum pattern. And I can play now this pattern from over here. So listen to this. Okay, beautiful. This little box here is called a loop. Look at this. When I hit that, this little green thing populates. That's your loop. That means when it gets to the end of that loop, it's going to start all over by itself automatically. You can right click and draw out the loop to make it longer, or you can left click it, just left click this button, I'm sorry, and turn it off, right? So for now, I'm going to leave it on because I want it to loop and rotate or keep coming back. This I can use to blow up the screen so I can see it better if I need to. This is to jump forward with the cursor. This is to highlight everything. It's your pencil tool to draw things in. This is your automation tool, which is a great tool. Here is your sample track. Here is your beats and bassline editor. So I wanted to add another one of these like I kept doing. I can do it from here as well. Stop and play. Pretty straightforward, okay? So now if I wanted to draw in clap, hi-hat, stick, and crash and play from here, I can hear the whole song like this. Okay, but here's where it gets fun and cool, and this is why I recommend doing it this way. So let's say now I wanted to extend, right click and extend this out. And oops, didn't want to do that. And I'll just keep drawing out instruments. And now if you notice, when I draw one, it's doing two rectangles or two squares at a time because I have two bar loops. Okay, so that's important. I also want them to line up and touch and not be off like this. It could create problems later. It may be something cool. It may be a great mistake or intentional, but normally you want to do it this way where they touch and line up in a certain way. Now notice I didn't touch this one because I'm not using automation yet, so I'm going to go ahead and move that track. I can always add it back when I want. I want my instruments in a straight line. Now here's what I have really quickly. Okay, but this now is why I recommend doing it this way. Let me pull this back. Good. Now I'm going to go here and remove. I'm going to go here and remove. I'm going to go here and remove. And I'm going to go here and remove. So listen to what we have now. Okay, so you can see that my arrangement is so much easier that I have all my sounds lined up on each different pattern. If I don't want an instrument to play at a certain part, I just don't put it here in that area. And that's beautiful. As compared to when everything was on one channel, I was almost stuck with all those sounds all the time. And once I changed it in that pattern, it changed it forever in my program. I can't go back to something I changed 4 changes ago if I did something different from what I want, right? So this way you get to preserve the track and still have flexibility and freedom as to how to lay those out. All right, so play around with that a little bit, get used to that, practice that, and let's come back and let's try to add on and make this beat a little bit more exciting. All right, thank you so much.